Yo, this is Max Hernandez, and you're watching Title Match Network. Boom. I had no idea what to think at the time. Like I said, my dad was a Green Beret for 30 years, so you give guys respect. You meet them, shake their hand, you know, listen to what they're selling you and see what happens. And I remember when they came in, like when Ric Flair came in and stuff like that, me and Matt Morgan were the tag champs at the time. And we did the live thing on the first time Ric Flair came. So due to time constraints, they cut our match with Stevie Richards and Raven. We're supposed to beat him, and oh man, we won't have to cut that match. So, you mean we're not gonna be on the show when it's live? Oh well, when Ric Flair gets out of the limo, you can be the first guy to shake his hand. Like, what the tag champs, but you make sure the Dudley Boys wrestle the Nasty Boys in a tag match, and we're the tag champs, and we're lucky just to shake. Well, that made no sense. So, you know, obviously you know more than me because you've been in bigger places, so I was trying to fuck up. And then, luckily we give you a 2-minute match, but you get entrance but no entrances. And what the fuck are you doing in 2 minutes? And that's the match we got on the live TV show when Ric Flair showed up. I saw them right on the wall there. I formulated a plan because I saw the guys that they were pushing at the time. The X Division guys were getting less time. The younger heavyweight guys were getting less time, TV time. So I developed a plan in my head. I said, Ms. Carter, can I go to Mexico on loan from TNA and win over the Mexican people? Come on, son. And then come back, with the AAA belt. Hey, I'm ready for the singles push. She went for it. Man, I got double paid, son. TNA and AAA. But it was, for me, I was preserving myself like a life preserver. I was trying to step up the Titanic because I know I'm not a politic guy. I'm not into politics. Burying dudes to keep my job and stuff like that. So I stepped up my own Titanic because I see my friends getting let go. I've seen guys at that time who got re-signed. Oh, happy they got re-signed. Less than a month later, we'll take it back. I don't want to mention names because it's not right to them. It's not my story to tell, but I've seen guys get signed. The next TV taping, they take the contract, they null the contract because whatever's going on. And I was afraid that was me. So it was 2010. Oh shit, I'm going to load them trucks again. Self-preservation. Let me try to go AAA. And that's why you saw me going back and forth there.
And you already knew, being around long enough, when there's a regime change like this, they're probably going to bring in their own people, they're not, you already know after the first thing with the shaking of the hand at the limo, like, well, if this is what I'm going to be used as on this show, they're probably not going to put me in the main event, on the next.
When you meet new guys, the new regime, they've never met me before. They never met most of the guys who are homegrown TNA talent. So I meet Eric Bischoff, very nice to meet and stuff like this. And because, Dixie, this is one of the guys we're trying to push for singles belts and stuff like this. And it seemed like this guy had a heart on for me. So I remember first meeting, he goes, hey man, how are you? He goes, you're Shawn Hernandez? Yes, sir. Well, he goes, man, are you 6 foot? I go, sir, I'm 6'2". He goes, are you sure? I go, last time I checked, yes, sir. You all do physicals here twice a year, so I'm sure I'm 6'2". He goes, you don't look it. And walked away. Next conversation I have with this guy, because, he's very busy, hands-on doing everything else. Next conversation I have, maybe 2 or 3 tapings after that. So, I don't like I think your promos need a lot of work. We really can't push you into singles, until your promos get stronger. And I'm not dumb. I know when my promos aren't the greatest, but at the time I did promos, they were okay, and they weren't. And I'm looking right in the game. They weren't any worse than Jeff Hardy's or AJ Styles at the time. So you're gonna put Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles on the main, and they're way under 6'5", and their promo skills for the time were not very good. And you're going to worry about mine. I had a nice momentum. And you guys who remember before, in 2009, before I broke my neck, I was getting a nice push. The fans were behind me. It was all Jim Cornette's creation. So, I'll do the math. If I needed better mic skills or didn't have just the right amount of mic skills to get that push.
And it seemed like it was almost struggling to find an identity after maybe, later on in the 2000s. Where you're kind of switching gears all the time, and all of a sudden we're doing like an ECW pay-per-view, we're doing this, we don't know exactly what direction. Did it feel like you have no idea?
We had no idea. I remember one time, they didn't even tell us you were on ECW pay-per-view at first. Oh, so December tapings, January tapings, in February, you're coming in for Monday, we're like, what about the pay-per-view? Oh, don't worry about that, okay. See it on the internet, see it on TV, ECW, retro or throwback show, all pay-per-view for ECW guys. How does that help you at all? You just like changing from the 6 side to the 4 sides and with the ramp. I mean, how does that help you at all? You have an identity, you're growing this. Remember, 06, 07, 08, 09, and then now you're blowing it on your profits you're making. You blow on accessories and add-ons. Then you blink in 2011. Oh, it's time to cut some losses around here.
You mentioned Jim Cornette and being responsible for that. Where did he factor in? When did you meet Cornette for the first time? Was it in TNA?
Yes.
And he was behind you from the start, like when he met you.
Well, in my opinion, Jim Cornette was the ultimate team player in TNA. When the boss tells you, I want to push these guys, he's a soldier. He picked those guys that you told him to groom, and he molded them as well as he could. So if you watched my match in 2009, I was doing those cool strongman matches where I beat 2 dudes, or I remember one time beating the whole British invasion. He made it make sense, and the people were solid behind it, and he was booking it. This genius literally would get in the ring with me, and obviously could pick some of the guys up, but he would tell me the positioning, the style, the transition, when to pose, when not to pose, when to look at the hard camera, all that, because I was stuck with TNA LAX. I was a robot, just knowing what Homicide told me to do. So now I'm by myself, and Cornette took care of it. And go back to Impact Plus, or go back to YouTube, and listen to the crowd. They were behind it, all because of him.
So you rank him pretty high as far as minds for the wrestling.
Yes, for people who don't like Jim, fine, but Jim knows how to make money. Whatever you want to say about Jim, he might be behind the times or racist. Jim is not a racist. Jim knows green. What makes money. So I assure you, even if he was racist, if you can produce green, you are not that negative stereotype. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he's racist. He's just very passionate what he wants to do, and he's going to make whoever he's in charge of a star. Yo, this is Supermax Eric Hernandez. You want to see more? Click that subscribe button right now. To live and die in LAX.
TitleMatchNetwork.com